Everybody, this is Kyle with AttackOfTheFanboy.com, and this is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, the Vah Rudania Divine Beast, the Goron Divine Beast. This is kind of a walkthrough. It's not the entire dungeon in terms of treasure chests and stuff like that. Most of those are pretty obvious in this dungeon. You should see them all over the place and can kind of figure out where they are, but it's the terminals that are the biggest problem. So I'm just going to let you watch the video, but also kind of give you some pointers. I was recording this on my first time through, so there was a lot of looking around trying to figure stuff out. I've cut that out, kept it as short as possible. This dungeon is kind of in the middle ground of the Breath of the Wild Divine Beast quests. There's definitely a couple of easier ones, but this wasn't like massively hard. So it starts out with this dark room. You need to, of course, eliminate the enemies to clear a path, but you also need to light some torches. So you need to pick up the torch, which should be over near the entrance there. You can pick that up, light it on fire, and carry it to the other unlit torches and light them up. As I said, feel free to grab any treasure chests. I cut out a lot of the treasure chests because they were attained when I was kind of exploring the dungeon, trying to figure stuff out. So I hope you do the same, because the surprises are a big part of Zelda and figuring stuff out. Hopefully, this is just kind of a pointer for you if you get a little stuck, which I definitely did once or twice in this dungeon. So there, you get the torch out of that chest, and you can take it over and light it, and you will get through the rest of this area using that torch. So something that I tried here is to switch to my normal gear, just because it is more capable than the fireproof gear that I picked up at the Goron shop. That doesn't last. Later on, you will get on the outside of this divine beast, and as soon as you do, you essentially light on fire. So keep your Goron outfit ready. You pretty much just want to wear it the whole time. Switching back and forth would be too much of a pain. There's really no point in doing it. Don't open that chest first, just go ahead and light the torch. Otherwise, you have to do what I do here, which is run back and relight your torch. And with that, you're going to open up the ceiling tiles here, and you're also going to get your obvious controls over the Divine Beast. Every dungeon in Breath of the Wild gives you some form of control over it. This one lets you switch between two orientations, either sideways or I guess horizontal or vertical would be the best way to describe it. And that's going to come into play a couple of times for a few of these terminals, and hopefully you'll see which orientation works best. But with only two, you can kind of figure it out. It's either the ground is down or you're on the wall.
The terminals that control Rudania are noted by the glowing points on your map. To take back Rudania, you'll need to activate all of the terminals. You got this, little guy.
This first terminal is kind of obvious, sitting right out here. I do mess it up just a little bit, but essentially you want to cheese it. I mean, you can probably find a regular way in, but just jumping from over here didn't seem to work for me. So make sure you kill that guy. Makes it a lot easier. And then after that, you can pretty much just alter your orientation. This does a good job of introducing you to the two orientations of this dungeon. Letting you kind of figure out how it's going to work, which is essentially that you can jump off the wall and make it to this this little floating, semi-floating platform. So glide in and grab this guy, and if you're like me, you will spend the next 10 minutes wandering around the dungeon trying to figure out what to do. The best thing to do next is right next to you. There's another terminal right behind a couple of metal doors. You just need to get your orientation right, which is down flat, which you'll see in just a second, just to show you which way to make it. And then you're going to need some lit arrows. You can use fire arrows if you've got extra, or just come over here, light them on that little torch, and light this up. And you're going to do this a couple of times. So do this here real quick, then use your magnet power to open up the doors. But you're going to need a couple of lit arrows to kind of prime a couple of things. You're going to get a treasure chest off of those leaves on the wall. And then over to the right is another room that we're going to solve later. It took me a while to figure out what was going on with that room, but just know that right now you want to light a couple of arrows and hit both of these patches of leaves. The one right here and the one through the grating on the right. So just light an arrow, fire it in there, and we will get back to that later. But next up is going to be the ball puzzle that requires you to do some reorientation of the Divine Beast. So skipping ahead a little bit, we're going to do this ball puzzle, which requires a lit torch. So grab a lit torch, and then you're going to have to make your way with that lit torch up to the roof. So that means no running, no switching weapons, no anything. You can kind of skip ahead a little bit. Some people might try to go the normal way, but there was actually a wall that you had to climb. So there's a few ways to get up on the roof, but essentially that's where you want to be, is up on the roof. You'll definitely want to learn this trick. It's very helpful to be in one orientation, switch to the other, and kind of walk along the wall. It helps you skip some walking in this dungeon. such as this. So you just need to get this lit torch over here to these bars, this like little cage area. Try to avoid these enemies. You can probably attack them with your torch, but I really didn't want to risk breaking it or putting the fire out or anything. Just get this torch lit as quickly as possible with the blue flame. You see the ball roll. You need to keep it going through this little cage area down below, and then you'll have to use your magnet power. So if you want to get that ready, you'll be using that later on. Before you do that, something that I accidentally cut out earlier, you need to get the terminal that's on the top of the spine here. So as soon as you get to the roof, you can just get up there and get it. You need to use your bow and arrow to take out these two black goo monsters, and then you pretty much just alternate the orientation of the Divine Beast a couple of times and walk right up. It's not a huge problem. Just go ahead and watch the rest of this, and it should show you exactly what to do. And once it's done, we'll cut right back to where we were and get back to the ball puzzle.
There are 3 terminals remaining. All right, let's get moving.
The ball is not magnetic, by the way, so you will just need to change orientation. But it stays within its little cage area and goes exactly where it needs. Just a couple of changes. Once it comes down here, it'll hit this metal box, and that's where you're going to need your magnet power to lift the box, let the ball fall down there, and trigger that little orange circle, and that will get you to the next terminal.
Just 1 terminal remaining. Just 1 more.
For our final terminal, you want to be in this orientation, and it's back to that room that I was a little confused about. Had to skip ahead because this, I don't want to say how long it took me to figure out, but once you spot this little thing, you kind of figure out what you need to do, which is move it and then do some stuff in this room that I'll let you watch. But it's simpler than it looks. I kind of think it's more complicated, which is why I drag it over here. I'm thinking you need to do something in the other room, but really you just need to move that box and then look in there, and you'll see exactly what needs to be done, which is to light a torch, obviously. That's what we've been doing throughout the whole dungeon. So, yeah, don't do what I'm doing here, which is reorientating. If you see, the box will fall back into place and block the torch. You don't want to do that. But, hey, we all make mistakes in Zelda dungeons. It's all about messing around, trying to figure out what you're supposed to do. And this one just took me a little bit longer than it probably should have. So once you light this torch in here, the door's going to open, and the rest is pretty simple. The box isn't any sort of puzzle that you need to solve or anything like that. You just need to block these flames and get into the next room, which will require another orientation change because you can't really climb a box this big, and it's just blocking them from the floor. So get it into a good position where it's not going to roll away. Don't put it higher up. Put it exactly in that corner right there. Change your orientation, and you can just saunter in here for the final terminal. And then all we've got left is activating the main one and fighting the boss.
Nice. That was the last terminal. Now go ahead and start up the main control unit. There should be a new glowing mark on your map. You're gonna need to make your way over to that. Stay focused, little guy.
The main terminal is up on the roof. You should have seen it earlier, so you can use the little trick from earlier and change orientation and just kind of walk up there. Just make sure you are prepared. As soon as you hit that trigger, the boss is going to show up. He's a bit tougher than some of the other bosses that we've seen in the game so far. He's got a little trick in his second iteration that took me some time to figure out. But once you get the pattern, as always, you can take care of him. So here he is, Fireblight Ganon. He's not too difficult, especially this opening sequence. You pretty much just have to wail on him with whatever good weapon you have. Dodges are always good whenever he swings that giant axe. And always make sure that you get a picture of the bosses. You want to get them into your little Hyropedia or whatever it's called. So, yeah, just make sure you've got a good amount of weapons. You're probably going to run through them. They're going to wear out because he does have a shield at one point, and it can be a bit of a pain to work through. As far as I could tell, the elemental stuff didn't do much extra damage, but it always helps. So in this opener, just kind of do the usual stuff, dodge any incoming attacks, and look for openings to hit him. There's not too much secret to this one. Try to have better timing than me. Still working on the timing to get the fury attacks that definitely make these bosses a lot easier. So if you can get your timing down on those jumps and everything, then you will do much, much better. Again, don't do what I did here. Didn't remember about being outside. That doesn't help. The flame guard is not enough. You need the Goron armor that you bought earlier, or you're going to start taking damage.
Good one, little guy.
Do enough damage, and you'll kick into the second part of this battle, where things do definitely get tougher.
That flaming ball.
So yeah, he has this flaming ball around him, and you can't really do much. So it took me a while to figure out, but when he charges up these attacks, what you need to do is shoot them with an arrow so that they damage him and break that ball. Once you figure that out, the rest of the battle is pretty much the same, where you're just kind of looking at openings. If you can't, hit that ball when he's doing it, make sure that one of those pillars is in the way. Otherwise, it's going to hit you. It has a big... Sorry, actually, scratch what I said. I'm thinking of another boss. What you want to do is toss a bomb at him. He's pulling in all the things around him. You toss a bomb at him, it pulls it in, and explodes, and there you go. So disregard what I was saying earlier, and you just do this a couple of times, and he's down, and you will be done with Vah Rudania, Divine Beast in Breath of the Wild. We'll be trying to do a few walkthroughs and guides for Breath of the Wild, so check out the site, attackofthefanboy.com, for all of that. I've left in the final cutscene and all of that, so just feel free to finish this up. Again, it's just a repeated cycle, just hitting him and doing as much damage as possible, avoiding those attacks as much as possible, and avoiding his flame sword. But otherwise, he's a fairly standard boss, not too tough to take care of. Especially compared to some of the other ones in Breath of the Wild. So check out the website, attackthefanboy.com. You are currently on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/fanboyattack. Give us a like or subscribe. Leave a comment. Make sure you mention how stupid I am that I thought of a different boss. But it's still important info. That's going to come into play later. I promise. But hopefully this was helpful for you. If you have any questions or anything like that, put them in the comments. Or check out the website, attackofthefanboy.com. So enjoy the rest of the battle and enjoy the cutscene at the end. And thank you for joining me.
Stay strong now. I owe you big for this. Because of you, my spirit is finally free. Can't thank you enough. I feel like I should apologize. I was doing all I could to protect Hyrule when that thing got the best of me. Sorry that me wrestling with the rubble caused such a mess. The good news is, Rudania is now back under our control. That means that our century-old Ganon beatdown plan can finally go into effect. I'm gonna take this down the mountain. I'll have a better shot at Ganon there. And then, once you've made your way into Hyrule Castle, we're gonna light that thing up. I want to give you something. It's a special power of mine called Daruk's Protection. It's no good to me now that I'm a spirit, but it might be useful for you. Here it comes! From this moment forth, the power of protection from the depths of my soul now lives inside you. Good luck, little guy. And give my regards to the princess. Set here. Now we just gotta wait for the perfect shot. Once Link is in the castle, Rudania will unleash an epic blast. Ganon won't know what hit him. Hyrule looks pretty good from up here, even after 100 years. The old rolling grounds sure are a sight for sore eyes. I wonder how the Gorons fared after the Great Calamity. I sure hope everyone down there is still going strong after every... Huh? Hey, look at that! Still going strong indeed! Ha!